Wealth doesn't remove struggle from childhood, and in some cases, it introduces a different kind of struggle: entitlement, low motivation, and a lack of drive. A lot of successful parents feel tension. They don't always say it out loud, though. Something like this: I work so hard to give them opportunities I didn't have, but I'm worried they won't develop grit. Or they have everything they need, but they don't seem to be motivated. Today, we're going to talk about why that happens, and more importantly, what families can do about it. Hi, I'm David Stevens with Stevens Capital Partners. This topic sits right at the center of multi-generational wealth planning. Money can create security, but without intention, it can also remove challenge, responsibility, and a sense of purpose. So today, we'll break this down into three areas: how entitlement develops, how to separate support from dependence, and how to foster purpose and drive. I'll share practical steps you can take right now, things we're doing in our own family, and things I've seen work with other families too. Point number one: how entitlement develops. Entitlement isn't caused by wealth alone. It's usually caused by wealth without structure. Here's how I think about it. Entitlement grows when kids start living in a pattern of want, ask, receive. If effort disappears from the story, the brain quietly learns, I deserve this because I want it. That's why in our house, we interrupt that loop on purpose. When our kids see something online or in a store that they can't wait to have, we don't say yes in the moment. We make them wait for a few weeks. We have them write the item down, then research it to see if it's actually worth what the seller is asking, whether that's online or even in the store. They compare pricing, read reviews, and think through whether it's a smart purchase or just an impulse buy. Then we give them an opportunity to work for that item. Extra chores around the house, real responsibility, and sometimes we even let them negotiate the job, similar to what they would have to do if they owned a construction company and were putting a bid in. What's the scope of work? What's fair? What are you committing to? What's the timeline? The goal isn't to be harsh, it's to teach delayed gratification, good judgment, and earned rewards. Skills that protect kids from entitlement no matter how much money is in the family. Here are some other quick practical actions. Explain the why behind financial decisions at age-appropriate levels. Make effort visible by connecting privileges to responsibility. Avoid automatically fulfilling every request. Have regular responsibility talks where expectations for effort and outcomes are discussed clearly. Make the cost of life visible. We also do something else that's really been powerful. We walk our kids through what things cost, and then we break it down into something they can actually feel. So for example, how many hours it would take to earn the money to pay for it, the meal they just enjoyed, the shoes, the clothes, even the vacation. Not to guilt them or not to make them anxious, but to build awareness. We want to avoid raising kids who are unaware of the price it took to pay for the things they enjoy. It can incentivize hard work too, especially when we allow them to be a part of the process of earning those funds. That hours to earn translation is simple, but it's one of the best ways I've seen to build perspective without lecturing. Point two: separate support from dependence. Support is not the enemy. Supporting our children is a good thing. The real issue is when support turns into dependence. Here's the filter I use. Support should increase capability. If it reduces capability, it becomes a trap. That's why we're intentional about letting our kids experience real work, not as punishment, but as participation. Our kids also work in our office building. They'll help move desks, build furniture, clean, hands-on tasks that need to get done. And with the older ones, we also have them learn what a day in the life of looks like. What does a financial planner do? A portfolio manager, an accountant? Not because every kid has to join the family business. That's not the goal. The goal is for them to understand competence, contribution, accountability, and what real work looks like, because those things build drive and character. Quick practical actions. Link financial support to milestones like graduation or savings targets or work experience. Use matching programs rather than an outright gift. Match their savings or earnings for goals like down payment on a vehicle or education. Set clear expectations for ongoing support, including what is temporary help versus long-term assistance. Encourage meaningful work, summer jobs, internships, or family enterprise roles so kids build competence and accountability. Point number three: teach purpose, not just money. The third point is most important. Motivation doesn't come from comfort. Motivation comes from meaning. And meaning is built when kids learn that wealth isn't just something you have, it's something you're responsible for. In our home, we don't just want our kids to understand stewardship in the sense of managing money wisely. We want them to understand stewardship in the deeper sense. You're responsible to give back. We talk about success like this. Success is how many people are better off because you lived. That definition gives kids a reason to work hard that isn't just about consuming more. So we try to make giving back real, not theoretical. We take our kids to a local shelter where they can serve meals. We don't just drop the food off and leave, we stay. We interact, we talk with the people we're serving as a family. Because the goal isn't charity at a distance, the goal is dignity, connection, and love. One of the moments that really stuck with me happened through our two older sons. They love playing multiple instruments, and they actually met a gentleman that ended up sitting down together with them playing the piano. Actually showed them a few techniques, things that they'd never seen before, and it was a powerful moment. That's when it hit me again. The point isn't just to help, the point is to connect, to see people, to learn from people, to treat everyone with dignity, connect, impact, love on people. That's stewardship too. Because when kids experience that firsthand, when they feel what it's like to serve, to connect, to impact, they start to understand that purpose isn't a speech, purpose is a practice. Quick practical actions. Have regular family discussions about values, impact, and goals beyond material success. Involve children in philanthropic decisions that require research, debate, and shared accountability. Serve together consistently, not just as a one-off event, but as a part of your family culture. Encourage ownership of a long-term project or passion that isn't tied to family wealth, a business concept, research project, or a community initiative. Share family history, including failures and obstacles, not just achievements. Here's a quick checklist you can reflect on this week. Do my children understand why we make financial choices, including boundaries? What responsibilities do they own right now that build effort and resilience? How often do we discuss values, meaning, and goals, not just comforts? Are there real opportunities for them to contribute and develop competence? Do they understand that money represents time, effort, and responsibility? Wealth can open doors, but it doesn't automatically create motivation or purpose. Entitlement and lack of drive aren't inevitable. They're usually signals that families need intentional structures around effort, responsibility, and values. If you'd like to speak to an advisor about strategies for raising motivated, purpose-driven children while preserving family wealth, please click on the link below to contact us. And if you like this episode, please subscribe or leave a review. Have a topic you want us to discuss? Drop it in the comments. I'm David Stevens with Stevens Capital Partners. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.